year was 1783, and the wind that rolled down the spine of the Carpathian Mountains carried with it a chill that bit through wool and skin alike. The villagers of Dracula, a hamlet stitched into the roots of the pine-dark hills, lived in wary harmony with their shadows. By day they prayed and baked bread, herded goats, and stitched crucifixes into the collars of their children's clothes. But at dusk, shutters closed like heartbeat valves, and all talk ceased. Even the wolves seemed to stay silent when the sun fled. The elders never spoke of Castle Drekavac directly, but everyone in Dracula grew up with the same dreams. Black halls that swallowed torchlight, icy hands slipping across the throat, and a voice, ancient, male, and cold as grave dirt, whispering their name from beneath the earth. But no one had seen the castle in decades. It lay high in the folds of the mountain, swallowed by forest and legend. That was until Father Ignatius arrived, a tall man late in his 40s, with hands like wood and eyes too used to death. He came alone on horseback, a rough cloaked figure riding in from the southern pass, bearing only a cross, a leather-bound satchel, and a letter he refused to show anyone. His steed, a black stallion named Lazarus, bore the weight of his master without complaint, though the climb had already begun to shake the animal's nerves. The villagers gathered at the tavern that night, where the air hung thick with smoke and unease. "You're chasing myths," warned the barkeep, a thick-shouldered man with eyes like carved walnut. "That place was swallowed up a long time ago. You'll find nothing there but frost and stone." The priest only nodded. "Even myths need absolution." An old woman at the fire hissed and crossed herself. "You'll not make it back." Ignatius lifted his mug, but said nothing. By the second night, rumors already began to cling to him like mist. Some said he was sent by the Vatican to banish a rising evil. Others claimed he was a ghost hunter who had faced the devil in Moldavia and survived. One child swore she saw the moon go black behind his silhouette when he prayed at the graveyard. By the third night, the clouds had thickened above the mountains, and still he rode alone. The path to Castle Drekavac had not been used in over a generation. Thick roots twisted over old cobblestones like dead hands trying to bury what was left. Ignatius dismounted where the trail narrowed into a ledge barely wide enough for a man, and left Lazarus tethered near a frozen spring. The fog thickened as he climbed. It slithered along the path, curling into his boots and breath, muffling sound, bending shapes. Crows watched him from the trees, not flying, just watching. By the time he reached the gates, dusk had already swallowed the sky whole. The castle stood like a broken crown, its towers shattered, its ramparts leaning like dying teeth. Thorny vines crawled over the stone like veins. But as he stepped forward, the massive iron gate creaked open. No wind had touched it. Inside, the air smelled of mold, dust, and something far older, like dried blood in a stone bowl. The courtyard was empty. No signs of wildlife, no signs of rot either. It was as though time had abandoned this place, but something else had remained. He lit his lantern. The flame wavered, then steadied. His cross hung cold at his neck. He passed through the ruined hall, where portraits lined the walls. Nobles of pale skin and hollow cheeks stared down at him, some with eyes that looked too lifelike. One frame had been slashed in half, the canvas torn diagonally, the subject's mouth forever screaming. A whisper followed his steps, not from behind, from beneath. He pressed on. The grand staircase opened into what must have once been a ballroom. The roof had caved partially, letting the moonlight paint stripes across the black marble floor. Broken chandeliers hung like skeletal remains of fallen angels. In the center of the room stood a chair. No, a throne, made of bone and rusted iron. It faced away from him. His lantern dimmed. He did not speak. Then the voice came, not from behind him or in front, but everywhere. You bring a cross to a place where God has not walked in 300 years. Ignatius turned, heart hammering. I bring peace, he said aloud, and light. The throne creaked. A figure rose, slowly. He was tall, wrapped in a black robe that shimmered like oil. His face was hidden in shadow, but his hands, pale and long-fingered, were stained crimson. Ignatius, he said, your name smells like the church, bitter, like incense in fire. You are Vladislas, Ignatius said. You were once a man. I've read the chronicles. A chuckle echoed off the walls, and you know how men die, and what remains after. He stepped forward. His face came into view. Not a corpse, not a beast. A king, perfect, ageless. His eyes glowed with the slow embers, red, hungry, alive. You've brought nothing I have not devoured before, the vampire said. Ignatius pulled the dagger from his cloak. Silver, blessed. He lunged. Vladislas vanished, not moved, vanished. Then a whisper at his ear. Too slow. Something slammed into Ignatius from behind. He crashed to the floor, his lantern shattering, the flame dying. The world went black. As he lost consciousness, he felt something cold touch his throat and heard the last thing he would remember before the darkness swallowed him whole. Welcome to your tomb.